Good morning, good morning, good morning. Bix Weir, roadtoro.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of last day of decaffeinated tea. Yes, I know. 21 days, bang, gone. Came and went. Ta-da! Victory lap. Congratulations to everybody. I'll get to that in a second. But I want to talk about another victory lap. Litecoin. Okay. Yes, I've been putting out videos about Litecoin a lot lately because it's massively manipulated by ridiculous manipulators. FUD, 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 FUD. Now, here's a great example of why Charlie Lee sold all his Litecoin. And he said it. The guy is brilliant. I just, hands down, smartest guy in crypto. Besides Satoshi. Here's the deal. Charlie Lee said, when he sold all his crypto, he said, I want to be able to tweet whatever I want at any time I want. That was one of the reasons. There were many reasons. The biggest being the centralization part. If Charlie was the largest holder of Litecoin, no one would believe anything he did, said, and the SEC would be after him. Everybody would be after him. He created the coin correctly. Out of anybody who's created a coin, nobody did it better than Charlie Lee. Didn't even mind any for himself until everybody knew it was coming out. Listen to when he talks about when he created the coin. That's the reason. One of the very big reasons he wanted to create a coin was to make sure that it was fair for everybody, including Charlie and anybody involved at the time with Litecoin. Charlie either mined or bought all his Litecoin. He did not give himself any Litecoin. So when he sold his Litecoin, everybody, he's selling his bag. Those people are complete idiots. Complete idiots who don't understand who Charlie Lee is. How many times have you heard me say, when you look at any investment, number one, start with the people. Number two, start with the people. Number three, start with the people. It's all about the people. All right? Okay. So, there we have the argument Charlie gave for selling his Litecoin. He wants to be able to talk freely about Litecoin, which he did yesterday. Bang, 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 bang. FUD. Kill FUD. Kill FUD. Kill FUD. On Twitter, you got to chop up your tweets. And that's the way he communicates on Twitter. So he did 16 tweets, which I'll read in a second. And as you can see, Litecoin got a little bit of a bid, up 5% when everything else is kind of even or down. Don't forget, it came down, 70%? Oh, no, it did come down, 40%? From 140, I'm not going to do the math, to 180 or 280, right? That's how much undervalued it is right now. I'm talking small scale. I mean, these are little things. It's not going to matter in 6 months. What we're talking about right now doesn't even matter in the future. But I'm just saying, if you want to buy Litecoin, voila, here's your time. Still, big whales need to get in. They needed more FUD. Any FUD that comes out, Charlie can nail it if it is FUD. If it's true, hey, he'll own up to it and say, hey, that's real and I'll fix it. He did both in his tweet, which I'll get to in 1 second. But yes, we see Litecoin bounced off $80 and now is at 87, up 10%. Yes, it will go up 600% from here, I think, within the next 3 or 4 months. 600%, just like it did last time they tried to FUD it out. Do you remember that? All the FUD driving it down from $60 down to $23, $22? That was my video yesterday. And what happened next? Next 6 months, bang, up 600%. You want to see another bang? Hold on to your hat. So all the FUD going around was complete bullshit. People don't understand Charlie. People don't understand Litecoin's position in the cryptocurrencies. That's the funny thing is a lot of the crypto investors are completely computer guys. They just want to know about the next token and they don't understand the bigger picture. The fact that we are having to transition out of an old system into a new system, a cryptocurrency. The reason Satoshi invented Bitcoin was a peer-to-peer cash system because Satoshi knew that the old system was going to fail and end like all fiat systems end. He happened to be on the inside of that. If you've read my work, you know who I'm talking about. But that was the idea of cryptocurrency, of the creation of Bitcoin, was absolutely 100% as a peer-to-peer cash system, so that when the banks fail, these rehypothecated fractional reserve banks that are criminals, when they are finally taken down by the good guys, as I pointed out, I was one of the first guys ever to talk about Q. I didn't call it Q, I call it the good guys back in 2007. I'm just saying, keep an eye on that. So when this system fails, they wanted something to go to. And Satoshi fixed the double spin problem. Voila, you have Bitcoin. 10 years of work to get into a position where we can actually transition over to cryptocurrencies and remove ourselves from the dollar hegemony. No other currency is going to take over for the US dollar. That's the stupidest thing ever. Anybody who understands what's going on will tell you, no, the dollar is the last fiat until the whole system collapses and we start something brand new. There's going to be no backing of the dinar or the yuan with gold. That's all bullshit. It's a lie. Why? Because it doesn't take care of the problem. The problem is massive debt all over the world. That was the idea. Build this system of debt so big that it implodes upon itself. And that's what's happening. So, that was Charlie's idea. It was in addition to Bitcoin. Same code, as Charlie will talk about in these tweets for a second. So, FUD. The lovely computer guys and crypto guys who know code and know cryptocurrencies from what they're trying to do don't understand the biggest and best use case of any cryptocurrency was the original use case as a means of exchange for humanity to use when the banksters go down. And that's what Litecoin is positioned so perfectly. Everything has been set up perfectly for Litecoin. All right, so all the FUD going around, no, there's no code posted and blah, blah, blah. And Charlie Solo, like, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. As we saw when they did the same exact thing in, November through December, October, November, December of last year, driving the price of Litecoin down to $23. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, Litecoin's going to zero. Boom. What happened to those people? What happened to those great fancy reports that said, oh, there's no use case for Litecoin? You're going to see them go the way of the dodo bird, just like the latest FUD on Litecoin. The way of the dodo bird. The good thing is you get cheap Litecoin today. And you're looking at a 600% run just to get to where it needs to be if it does the same thing that it did last time, which it should. Again, they're not freely traded cryptocurrencies, but there are people behind Litecoin that are much bigger than all of us. The good guys. If the good guys had their choice of any cryptocurrency on planet Earth to promote and control, the good guys meaning the people who control everything, they would choose Litecoin. I'm just saying. Anyway, so here's a basic reason why Charlie sold his Litecoin, so he can tweet. That was the reason he gave everybody. I want to be able to tweet freely. So all this FUD goes down. Charlie hadn't said anything because he doesn't like to get into stupid FUD. But finally he came out yesterday, 6 hours ago. Here's his tweets, 16 tweets, so get ready. Number one, just to set the record straight. And he couldn't do that before because every time he spoke, it moved the price. In the 8 years of history of Litecoin, we've only had a handful of core developers working on Litecoin Core. Absolutely. It was always the partnership between Bitcoin and Litecoin. They have worked together. The core developers work together. It's a clone. It's not a fork. It's a clone of Bitcoin. So it's the same code that they're using. At various times, it has been me, and then he lists 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. That's all. At various times, those are you don't need it. You got your core developers developing the Bitcoin code, and Litecoin's the same thing. It's just integrating it. Anyway, number 2, it's no secret that we have purposefully kept Litecoin's code very close to Bitcoin's code. Since we're mostly just merging Bitcoin changes, we only need a Litecoin core developer doing the merges, and the rest of us help with code reviews, testing, and Gideon builds. Computer thing, I don't know what that is. Number 3, Adrian Gallagher, aka Thrasher, is leading Litecoin core development right now and has been for years now. You may not know Adrian well, as he is not on Twitter much. Twitter is hysterical. I mean, I'm not a big Twitter fan. Amy does most of my Twitters, so tweets or whatever she does. I just think it's for people who can't express themselves much more in writing. No, I'm not giving Twitter a hard time. Anyway, as you may know Adrian as well, may not know Adrian as well, as he is not on Twitter much, but he is awesome. He quietly has been working hard behind the scenes on Litecoin core development. Number 4, recently there's been a lot of FUD about Litecoin having no code commits in 2019. When you look at GitHub, it would seem like no work was done in 2019. There are actually 2 reasons why this is the case, even though we have been developing. Then he links an article. First reason is Litecoin releases lag Bitcoin releases by a few months. So when we do a release, we are releasing code that has been released in Bitcoin months ago. Absolutely, it's the same code. We actually did a release of Litecoin Core in May of this year. And there it is. Core 0.17.1. Number 6, the code that was released was mostly written in 2018. The interesting thing about GitHub is that it keeps the commits the same in terms of who wrote it and when it was committed to the code base. So Bitcoin developers are credited for their work in the Litecoin code base. What this means in practice is that although we did work on and release the latest Litecoin code in May of 2019, if you look at GitHub, most of the commits were done in 2018. So it would seem like Litecoin developers took the entire year off. Number 8. The second reason is that we don't work on the master branch of the main project. It's generally not good practice to check in non-release code into the master branch. This is because if someone builds from source from master branch, they might get a broken build, and that's bad. Litecoin is the only crypto, I think the longest running crypto, that has never had a major problem. Bitcoin has had a couple in the early. Number 9, the reality is that Adrian has been actively working on Litecoin core release 0.18.1 on his personal branch here. And he links the GitHub site. When we release 0.18.1, Adrian will merge this branch into the master. When that happens, it will all of a sudden add all the 2019 commits. Number 10, this is how Litecoin core development has functioned for years. We even had the same FUD last year, like I said. Someone looked at our master branch last year and claimed that Litecoin stopped development in 2018. And I bet even after this explanation, we will have people confused in 2020. Charlie's brilliant. Number 11, I will address the progress of Mimblewimble and confidential transactions. When I announced that I will start working on Mimblewimble, someone asked me for an ETA. I responded with, should be sometime in 2019. As the year went by, I got sidetracked with a ton of other things that needed my attention. These included the Litecoin Foundation's work on adoption and awareness, which I will get to in a second. And yes, out of all the cryptos, ask me anybody else who's working on adoption and awareness. I don't think there's any. Mammoth Film Festival, Glory Kickboxing, Feel the K-Pop Concert, Flex Suspenda, and the Miami Dolphins, and more. So it's not like he wasn't doing anything. Again, those people say, oh, Charlie just sold his bag. He doesn't care about Litecoin anymore. That's a lot of work to get that shit done. I'm just telling you. Number 13, Litecoin Foundation's purpose is twofold. 1, work on Litecoin adoption and work on the development of Litecoin. For the past months, I believe adoption and awareness was more important focus for me than development. But I do agree that both are just as important in the long run. I agree. You need adoption and awareness for what Charlie's trying to do. He's trying to position Litecoin to be a useful tool when the banks collapse. As I said before, what is the number one means of exchange cryptocurrency leading the pack? Litecoin. Number 2 is probably Bitcoin. Number 3, maybe Digibyte or Dash or one of those other ones. But Litecoin is number 1 as a means of exchange. That's what I wrote in the song. Litecoin is the right coin as a means of exchange. It'll buy your cup of coffee when lightning needs a rain. Brilliant. Who wrote that? Who wrote that 2 years ago? I don't know. I don't know how this stuff happens, but it just does. All right, number 14. Now here's Charlie. He said he's admitting that he dropped the ball because everybody wants everything to happen at once. And Charlie's just one guy. I don't think he dropped the ball, but he says, I dropped the ball on MW and CT. For that, I apologize. But it's not fair at all to say I shrugged people along and tricked them. Except for the initial tweet, I haven't said 2019. When asked, I have only said that things are moving slowly and will give an update when there is one. Absolutely. When I did my interview with Charlie, that's what he said. I asked about, when's this stuff going to happen? When are we going to see Mimblewimble? And he said, it's moving slowly, but it's happening. And then I did say, will you be ready when the system crashes? If worse comes to worse and the system crashes, he said, yes, we will be. We are ready. Number 15. That said, I believe it's time now for me to shift focus from adoption back to development. I still think fungibility is extremely important, and I will get the ball rolling on Mimblewimble and CT. Again, this time I won't make any promises on dates. Last thing I would add is that I will work better on communications with the community and give more frequent updates on things. Voila. There's your answer, Fudsters. And I would like to make this promise to Charlie and the Litecoin Foundation team. I'm promising this from all of us in the Litecoin community. Charlie, you don't need to work on awareness and getting the word out. We will do that for you. There is an army of us that is building and getting stronger. We will spread that word. You go work on your code. That's what you're good at. That's what you're really good at. Yeah, Mimblewimble would be great. It's not necessary right away, but it would be great. So tell you what, we're going to take that big burden off of Charlie Lee's shoulders, off of the foundation's shoulders, spreading awareness and adoption. The Litecoin community, the Litecoin gang is going to do that. I've been doing it for a while, but we're going to get a lot of people to do it. And we're going to go bigger and better and bigger and better. You guys work on the code. We'll work on that. Deal? John Kim, run with it, baby. You're a fearless leader when it comes to hype. John Kim is awesome. I love John Kim. And he's got an army behind him. Literally. I'm right in there. I'm tucked right behind him. As well as a lot of us on Litecoin. Because we understand how important it is. We have to have a means of exchange. If we are ever to move away from the criminal banking, we have to have a sound means of exchange. So voila, there you have it. That's what's going on with Litecoin. I expect a 600% run really fast. I don't care about price though. That's the thing. I want Litecoin to be available and ready to go when JP Morgan is proven to be the financier of Jeffrey Epstein. Just like they were the financier of Bernie Madoff. Because we've had enough of the bullshit. No more bullshit. Deutsche Bank, you're a criminal bank. Jamie Dimon belongs in jail with blind masters for silver manipulation, amongst a million other things. So there we have it. Crazy days. Bravo, Charlie. Charlie did what he said he was going to do. The reason he sold his Litecoin. He wanted to be able to tweet when and whenever he wanted without having the retribution of, you're just doing it to support your bag. Now he's doing it to support Litecoin. He doesn't even own Litecoin. Charlie Lee deserves a Medal of Honor. Bravo, Charlie. Anyway, There we go, the end of the cleanse. Let's talk about it briefly. Amy and I are going to do a video today. I want to thank my freaking amazing wife for putting this together and running with it and supporting everybody. And if you're on the cleanse and you've made it this far, I don't know how many people have made it this far, but I know a lot have. There are over 200 people on this cleanse, and amazing results, good, bad, indifferent. Nobody came out and said, "God, it sucks. I'd never do that again." They come out saying, "Oh my God, it was so hard," or "I've never felt better." But I don't think anybody's going to come out saying I shouldn't have done it, because it makes you feel amazing. Amazing. It's a cleanse. It changes your body. It changes how you think about food. And it's really cool. So Amy and I are going to do a final roundup video today. Put it out there for all the people on the cleanse. If you want to get an idea what the cleanse is about, if you go to roadtoruda.com and you go to the second tab down, right after my interview with Cliff High, it's Ruda's 21-day raw food cleanse. It'll give you more information. We will probably do this again. I don't know when, but Amy, although she's never worked harder in her life, no, she's always worked hard. But this has been a huge, like taking a month out of Amy's life and saying, okay, this is all you're going to do day in, day out. And that's what she's done. And she's helped a lot of people. So bravo to her. And those of you who completing the cleanse today, bravo to you. And you know how great. And thank you for all the Telegram support messages for Amy for running this thing, and all you guys who support each other on Telegram. That was a big part of this thing, is the mutual support and the mind games that go on during something like this. Bravo. If you guys want to give Amy a tip, we got a Litecoin address right here. You can tip Amy, especially if you've been on the cleanse and you enjoyed it. Give her a tip. I'm a capitalist. I'm not a socialist. Amy's like, I don't want to have a tip. I go, no, you have to have a tip jar. I'm training her how to be a capitalist. Because there's two things you can do. You can either charge for what you do for work, or you cannot. If you're not, then you're more on the socialist side, because you got to pay bills and you want the government to pay your bills. That type of thing. There's nothing wrong with being a capitalist. I'm training her on how to be a capitalist. She's training me on how to eat better, how to take care of myself, and how to increase my vibration. So it actually makes a really good team. And she got mad at me yesterday because I said I was going to party like a rock star in St. Louis. And then she, this is while she's putting out how to come off the cleanse. You need to ease into it. And I'm like, I'm going to party like a rock star. I'll do a little of both. Compromise is the key to any relationship. Anyway, that's what I got for you today. Bravo, Charlie Lee. Bravo, Amy Weir. And we'll put out more information somewhere down the line when the next cleanse is. If you guys want to participate, it will change your life. It'll change the way you see food, you look at food, you think about food, the way you affect your body and how your body feels, and all these things. I think I lost 10 pounds on this one. So basically, I lost 25 on the first one, and then I gained 5 back between the first one and this one, and then I lost another 10. So I'm right around the weight I want to be. Maybe another 5, but I'm not going to do a cleanse for a little while now. Yeah, but great time. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruda.com. If you like this video, like and subscribe. YouTube is defunding everything. I'm going to talk more about Epstein, the takedown of the deep state, on my Patreon channel, Road to Ruda Patreon. So come check me out there. Also on Twitter, there's a couple fake accounts that look just like Road to Ruda. They stole everything off my Twitter thing. We put in a complaint, but Twitter doesn't do anything. So be careful, because they're putting out information. If you get a direct message from me, it is not me. It is not me. I don't use Twitter that way. If I want to direct message you, I'll email you, or I will call you on the phone. So I don't know what the deal is with this fake Twitter account, but nothing good can come of that. So be very careful. We're trying to get it taken down. If you're on Twitter, help me get rid of that. If you can help me get rid of that guy, please help, because it looks exactly like the Road to Ruda. They stole my picture. They stole the front page. Bitcoin Ben's got the same problem. These are criminals. I have a feeling it's probably Twitter themselves that made it. A lot of people don't think, oh, no, why would Twitter do that? They steal revenue. Twitter, YouTube, Google, they use every dirty trick in the book to dilute our message. So hang in there. Fight the fight for me when I'm not in the chat rooms. A lot of crazies in the chat rooms too. And I'm warning everybody, on YouTube, I'm a deleter. I love to delete trolls and people trying to sell a different coin that might be a scam and stuff like that. So anyway, that's all I got. BixWeirRoadRunner.com. Talk to you later.